This is Frankie Abbruzzino with the Uncensored Report. And today, a little healthcare talk. As everybody knows, I've been in the medical industry for a while, and I know a lot that goes on in there. And also with the political ads. So I'm going to try to talk straight talk here without the one-sided political right-leaning philosophy that I tend to carry. And it's on Obamacare and what the Republicans are out there. They were up all night with the Democrats in there and basically having them read word for word everything that was written down to try to stymie and slow the process, a process that they'll never slow. And it amazed me when I heard one of the guys come on TV, some individuals out there, and he was interviewing right and left Congress members. And the left was saying, oh, I can't believe they're rushing this through. They're rushing it through. And all I could think is, where the heck were you when Obamacare was rushed through, and not only as a non-bill, but as an outline? And if you recall, they rushed an outline through. Many members could not read the actual bill because it wasn't produced mostly, but they couldn't read the parts that were. And then once this outline was done, basically the HHS secretary went through and created Obamacare, and which is why it's so flawed today. And then, you know, it's funny, you have people like AARP, which come out and say, oh, we're against this. Well, they were for Obamacare. They were for that quagmire of a mess, Obamacare. So what do I care what AARP thinks? They're a political organization anyways, in my mind. So the Republicans, they're out there, and they have some challenges that they have to face in an attempt to both repeal and replace Obamacare. And they're planning on doing it in a three-stage area. A lot of people are saying, oh, Donald Trump didn't keep up his word. Well, he wasn't aware of what this bill contained until they brought it to him. And a lot of his promises, he's asked, where is this stuff? The stuff I promised. It's coming in, some of it's coming in stages. Basically, selling across lines, a key, essential. You need that. That's going to come, I believe, in phase 2. Also, the other thing is we got to keep in mind, and it's a little dangerous. They can do essentially what the Democrats did when they passed Obamacare, where they can go in and change it and add stuff to the bill once it passes through. And behind back doors, what I'm hearing is basically wink and a nod, don't worry, we'll add that later. And that's a little concerning. So you got out there that they got this repeal and replace, which is, you know, one article referred to it as like turning an aircraft carrier at a dime. It just doesn't happen. What we saw put out, a lot of people are like, oh no, that's it. That's the final bill, what the Republicans in Congress put out. No, the American Health Care Act is not the final bill. It includes a lot of steps. It's just saying, okay, here's the foundation. Here's what a template of what we have to work on. Let's go forward. And they're doing this because you have to repeal affordable care. You have to repeal Obamacare. Look, you guys, Obama robbed Fannie Mae and, of all the money. The investors who invested in it aren't getting a dime to help prop up Obamacare. It's failing. And I get that it's done a lot of good things. I like the precondition. I like the fact that over 20 million people now have insurance through Medicaid. Although I don't like that it's killing us and we can't afford it. And there's got to be better options that are out there. And I think they got a Medicaid transition type option. I haven't seen too much of it, just the outline. And his goal is, you know, trying to help as many people as possible without breaking the bank, without breaking the backs of the middle class out there, which is happening. You know, it's funny. It seems like almost like the middle class is paying for everything. The rich are getting out of it, and the very poor are getting the health insurance on the back of the middle class. Unfortunately, that's the way it seems to be coming out with Obamacare. So the GOPs are in there. They're championing this cause to, you know, and the hard line they're going to have is that they're a political organization that has always fought for individuals, for limited government intrusion. And, you know, a lot of them are concerned with the subsidy. And it's funny, these Republicans are big as idiots as the Democrats. And, you know, that's one thing that cracks me up is these people that are always so ideologically on one side. They'll, no matter how wrong Hillary Clinton is, they'll sit there and say she was the greatest to the end. Same here. I came across this the other day when we posted something about my local mayor doing some sexual thing out on the street. And to the very end, you got people that are up there standing by him saying it had to be photoshopped, and it wasn't. Why can't people just admit when their political leaders, their political parties are wrong, they're wrong? And in this case, they're wrong. Um, the Republicans went in and they're trying to say, we got rid of subsidies. No, you didn't get rid of subsidies. You're giving a tax credit. You're giving a tax credit of up to over a little over 14,000. That's a subsidy. And it's funny how they just changed the wording on it. And I don't know if it makes them feel good. I don't know if it's needed. I'm not saying the subsidy isn't needed. Perhaps it is. I don't know. I haven't, like many Americans, I haven't seen it. But don't sit there and tell me you've gotten rid of the subsidy and in reality you didn't because you got this tax credit just because it's named something else. We're not stupid, and that's what they play to. They play to the dumbed down Americans. They think they can put everything past us. They're going to have a hard time passing this, though, because a lot of the Republican Party people are more individualist, whereas the Democrats are more of a party that's working together as an organization. If you recall, when they passed Obamacare, the leadership came in, they got everybody on board. And that was because the bigger goal was socialized healthcare. And that was of a greater importance. It didn't matter if many of them were going to lose elections, which they did, and which many will continue. That's the way they worked. And it started this whole entitlement. And once you put this entitlement out there, you can't get rid of it. Like Charles Krauthammer said, you cannot retract an entitlement once it's done, once it's been granted. And this article referred to also that the fact that once something like this has been introduced where you got healthcare nationalized, it's never been repealed. And so how do you do it? I mean, if it was possible to keep it in place and not repeal it, then that's fine. But it's not. I guess it's better to reconstruct it. And they're trying to take a lot of the pieces that work and keep it together, which I'm glad they're doing. But they have to do something to stave off this impending healthcare disaster that's coming from this ACA. And again, I'm not saying it's Brock's problem. He wanted this pushed through. The problem is that none of the Congress or senators read it. They passed this outline. They had some idiot Health and Human Services secretary put it together. It's not, and Obama just wanted that ultimate goal of the welfare of putting health care for everybody. But our Congress leaders, our senators, our legislators are the ones that caused this quagmire. And they should bear the brunt of the responsibility. But, they're not going to be able to make everybody happy. You can't make all the people happy all the time, right? As it works through the Congress and then through Senate, there's going to be a lot more changes. You're going to get a lot of people that want their stuff added in. They're not happy that certain stuff is added in, like Rand Paul wasn't happy with a lot of stuff that he saw there in the freedom part thing that he belongs to. And you're going to be able to address some of the concerns of some of the conservatives, some of the liberals, but not of everybody. And in reality, what we hope is going to happen is everybody works together. You take a little bit of everything, you put something out. It's just like when you go for president. Oh, Trump. I didn't like a lot of stuff he did, but I liked the majority of the stuff he did, especially over that Hillary. Oh my God. But still, some of it I didn't like. And that's stuff you got to work through later in down the road. I don't like Trump's position on nukes. I don't like Trump's position on recreational marijuana with the state taking away states' rights. A lot of there's like 4 or 5 things that he's done that I'm not happy with. But back to healthcare. So hopefully this will work all out. Hopefully they'll come up with a resolution. Hopefully they'll come up with something that's more financially stable. With all the insurance companies that are leaving Obamacare right now, it's just a mess, folks. The high premiums that we're paying, I'm seeing it. My premiums have skyrocketed since then. The high deductibles. Basically, I go to the doctor and I have to pay them for a visit, even though I'm paying out a few hundred a month for insurance. And something's got to change. What say you? This has been Frankie Abbruzzino with the Uncensored Report.